So, friends, enemies, people who happen to be here, it's time again to arrive where we already are, continuously as a practice, moment after moment. I'm here at the coffee shop, and well, I'm teaching meditation and going live at the coffee shop so often that wouldn't be too difficult to believe or to think that I in fact live at the coffee shop. But the truth is that I don't live anywhere. I'm a wanderer, and I take refuge in the Dharma, or I take refuge in the spiritual path and in the practice. So that means that what I come back to, what I return to, what I rely upon is not in the world, not in money, not in a job, not in a relationship, but truly relying on and taking refuge in, arriving in the here and now. So this isn't something special, this isn't something you need training to do. It's really a matter of willingness. Willingness to put down everything that you've picked up to this point. So all of the relationships, all of the involvements, all of the responsibilities, all of the entanglements, all of the thoughts that you have about your life and the world and what's going on right now even. Putting all that aside, putting all of that down, and finding what is already here, finding the breath that is already here, finding the body that is already here, finding and being willing to be with the mind that is already here. We have a question coming in from one of the people watching live, and that is how to balance becoming the best version of yourself and accepting what we already are. I'll say, don't try to accept what you already are. Instead, this is like orienting yourself towards awareness of what already is. And what already is, or the direct experience of here and now, uh, is not really based in you as a person or you as an ego. So like what's happening right now it's not really a part of a story. What's happening right now isn't really based on your ego. It's not based on what you think of yourself, and it's not based on what other people think about you. When we're looking at, who we already are, we're already getting ourselves into a trap of basically being a character in a story. And so arriving at the here and now, or really tuning into the present moment, is storyless. You could even say that it's pointless. But in terms of the self, how does that benefit the self? Well, if you think of life as a race, or if you think of life as a marathon, you might be thinking of life the wrong way. But if you do think of it that way, then arriving at the here and now, or coming into our meditation practice, or dropping the view or the idea of self that has been built up to this point, is kind of like finding your balance. Connecting with your balance point. Connecting with awareness itself. And awareness itself is not really about someone. It's not really about anything in particular. It's just awareness itself. And you can experiment, you can explore, you can see for yourself if awareness itself, that's not about you, not about anyone else, not even about a kind of a particular place or a particular situation, is actually accessible. Now another person who's watching this live is asking a question as well. And they're saying, is awareness enough to overcome habits, conditioning, etc.? What about discipline and action? How full can your awareness be? How totally can you be in a state of awareness? How long can you sustain that? So this coming back to awareness, or stabilizing ourselves in just being aware, is more about stillness than action. So this is the act of stillness. This is the action of awareness. And if you can be disciplined and take this as an actionable thing to do, to just be aware, then it can naturally dissolve or address many of the habituated patterns that are plaguing you and draining your energy. So if you're an alcoholic, and you can practice not drinking alcohol now, you can begin to dissolve that addiction. If you're addicted to sex, if you're addicted to pornography, if you're addicted to any kind of negative thought pattern or action of body, speech, or mind, if you can stop that wholeheartedly, completely, with your full self, if you can stop doing those things and just being aware, then you can build up your relationship with not doing those things. But when we stop like this, we meditate like this, we're not just squinting our eyes and concentrating and forcing ourselves to meditate and suppress thinking, but actually we're opening up to everything. We're opening up to everything that is ourself, everything that is reality, the whole experience of reality as it is right now, fully present with all of that. Totally here and now. You could call this Zen meditation. You could call this just being aware. But it doesn't really matter what you call it. It doesn't matter if you think you're enlightened or you think this other person is enlightened or whatever. What matters is what you're doing right here and right now. And if you can do not really doing anything, then what's that? Who is it that does nothing? What are we doing if we're not doing anything, just being completely and totally aware? Well, this is something you have to see for yourself. You have to experience for yourself. You have to experience this directly. Because this, just being aware, is not about your thoughts about yourself or the environment or anything at all. So what is that? What is thoughtless awareness? You have to look closely at that. Look closely at thoughtlessness. That's not like a sleepiness or a drowsiness or, you're losing yourself in some kind of activity, but completely present and just aware. So in that sense, this is a kind of guided meditation, a guided invitation or pulling into of just being aware. Of course, meditation can help with all kinds of anxiety and physical sicknesses, illnesses. But mostly meditation helps with ignorance and attachment. So ignorance is not seeing the truth, right? Being ignorant of the truth. And the truth is like this direct experience of reality, of the way that it already is. For example, that reality is not based on our thoughts about reality. And reality is right here, right in our face. So can we be aware enough and uninvolved enough, unentangled enough to actually see and experience and to be with reality as it is right now? And the attachment is it's our constriction, it's our clinging, it's our constant seeking, our constant chasing, our constant desire. So you refresh and restart and arrive right here and now where you already are. There's no meditation if not practiced here and now. There's no meditation in the past. There's no meditation in the future. Meditation is presentness. Meditation is being willing to go beyond your own ego, your own thoughts and ideas about things. To be aware of everything, anything, without attaching to anything. This really cannot be explained. It's something that you have to see and experience for yourself. So this is the invitation to come and see, come and experience for yourself. How to start? Well, sit still. Become aware of what is already here. And instead of emphasizing getting something out of this practice or this experience, just allow yourself to be more and more aware of what is already here. The heart, the body, the mind, the breathing. Tune in, tune the dial into what is already happening right here and now. So unlike basically everything else that you might find on social media, this is hitting you in the head with a big wooden stick. Stop. Just like you show up to a meditation hall, just like you show up to a Buddhist temple, a Buddhist monastery, and you sit down, and the monk, etc., is teaching you meditation, and you're fidgeting around, you're moving around, you're checking your phone, or you're asking little questions. Stop. Because that monk might just pull out a very long stick and hit you on the head. And that's really what we're here to do, is to start to stop. Xin chào. Hello. Huh? Xin chào teacher. Oh. Here, I have a gift for you. What is your name? Nina? Really? My name is Rob. Yes, Mr. Rob. Here, I have for you. You can say hello.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. We're practicing meditation. You know meditation?
Yeah.
We do like this, you know? You know that? Well, no, we wouldn't say that inner peace starts with outer violence from our teachers. That wouldn't make a lot of sense, but oftentimes it is the problem that we need. We're used to being hit with a stick of frustration or anger or like wanting to punish, right? But to be hit with a stick of mindfulness and detachment, or to be hit with a stick of compassion, is something very, very different. And because of the nature of being online here, it can be quite confusing. It can be quite difficult to align ourselves properly to what's going on when we're new here and we're just kind of tuning in. So we can do all kinds of things. We can act wild and crazy. We can ask questions. We can say, exciting and interesting things, or etc. But we also have to have this energy and this practice of starting to stop. And if you don't have that pointer, right, in starting to stop, then you miss the whole point of what's going on. You'll always be on the sidelines. So don't be on the sidelines here. Because to breathe in peace and breathe out love, we have to really breathe in. We have to really breathe out. We have to, like Mr. Miyagi, we have to sharpen the mind. And this is also not about conceptual understanding. So you don't need a conceptual understanding to focus on your breath and stop perpetuating thoughts. But rather you use the sharpness, you use the tool of your mind. to stop. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathing in, I am not this body. Breathing out, I am not even this mind. Breathing in, I am not this body. Breathing out, I am not even this mind. So we're encouraging and feeding our curiosity, and we're also building up our capacity to concentrate. And at the beginning, that may be turned outwards, but slowly but surely we're turning that mind of curiosity and concentration around to look within. All kinds of good practical applications for becoming aware, for waking up. Most of all, not to fall into complicated, prolonged states of anxiety, of depression, of anger. When we practice like this, we're also building up a way of relationship with the body as it already is, and with the mind as it already is. What that means is that we're no longer interfering, we're no longer feeding the body or feeding the mind or trying to make it be a certain way. Right? So our practice of meditation is literally being aware of the body and not trying to make it feel a certain way, being aware of the mind and not trying to make the mind be a certain way. Just aware of the body as it already is. Just aware of the mind as it already is. And there's a real superpower in this. There's a very deep teaching in this, because the way that the body already is right now, that is the way that the body is right now. The way that the mind already is right now, that is the way that the mind already is right now. So there's a kind of a building up of a foundation or a connection with reality as it is, right? Like real reality as it is, and not thinking that reality as it is kind of coming from some thought-based story that we have about reality, but that the way that it is right now is actually the way that it is right now. So this is a kind of insight or beginning to connect with uh, real life that's not based in stories about ourselves or the world that we tell or that others tell. Amadeus, I'm in Vietnam. But really, I'm nowhere. And I invite you to join me here. I don't know. I'm not an animal. Stopping, stilling, breathing, and being aware. We might be impatient, we might be deluded, we may have questions, but this is where the magic happens. Our capacity to wield the sword of wisdom or to wield the sword of awareness and to cut through all of the complicated dualistic thinking of our lives. Not necessarily because we're going to break out into some field of total enlightenment and be some great master or great monk or whatever, but so that we have more space to align ourselves with what works. Weed is a very unskillful drug to be using. Weed is extremely unskillful drug to be using. My advice: don't smoke weed. Weed is about as anti-spiritual a drug as you can get. Because it makes you dizzy intellectually, it makes the mind unstable and prone to complex and creative, non-practical thinking. Weed really feeds greed and delusion. Weed might, kind of make people a little bit more relaxed, maybe not make them angry, but it specifically feeds that hunger, that desire, and also the quality of non-practical, complicated thinking. So cheddar is a great example why you shouldn't smoke weed, because it just doesn't work, right? So cheddar is setting an example for all of us to not smoke weed. You can say it's just a chemical, you can say it's just something that came out of your rear end, but don't smoke weed, everybody. Dulls the mind, overthinking, and paranoia. And this is exactly a precise recipe for what you don't want to do spiritual practice. Okay. Don't smoke weed, don't eat it, don't take drugs or intoxicants. That's my recommendation. And once again, returning to starting to stop. Returning to mindfulness of breathing. Returning to awareness of the body. Returning to awareness of the mind as awareness. Whatever you hold on to, you can let go of. Whatever you've started, you can stop naturally. The you that thinks all the time is not the real you. You can plant that wish deep in your heart, deep in your soul, with mindful breathing, with closing your eyes and bringing your mind home to the body. Have a direct, immediate, and intimate experience of the breathing in the body, instead of continuing to make self-based declarative statements. Or as an old wise man once said, shut your pie hole, get back to meditation. Feel the breath in the body. And we get pulled out of our meditation practice. That's no big deal. But then we come back to it. Come back to our breathing. Come back to the awareness of the body. Return. Well, we're not reaching for emptiness. You're just becoming more and more aware of what is already here. So whatever pleasantness is there, you're going beyond that. Whatever unpleasantness is there, you're going beyond that. Whatever boredom is there, you're going beyond that. In each and every moment of awareness of the breathing. Returning to the direct and intimate and immediate experience of breathing, body being, and mind as awareness. It's kind of like you realize that there's a problem in your computer, or your computer has slowed down, or there's some kind of issues going on in your computer, and you don't really know how to fix those issues. So you just keep refreshing and restarting that computer. That's kind of what we're doing here. We're refreshing and restarting the computer of the ego by returning to the present moment awareness of our breathing, by letting go of our boot up and all the programs that activate on startup. We refresh and restart, all those programs come up again, and then we refresh and restart again. Show the computer who's boss. Show the ego who's boss. By relaxing and releasing the whole body and mind. Breathing in, I am aware of the whole body and mind. Breathing in. Breathing out, I am aware of the whole body and mind. Breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Now, in practicing like this, we can begin to feel a sense of pleasantness. And this is specifically a sense of pleasantness that is not based in trying to get something. So don't be afraid, don't be shy about the pleasantness, but also don't try to grab a hold of it. It's more like an appreciation of it, a pleasantness in the mind. A pleasantness in the mind that's not really based in you getting something. This experience begins to reprogram and reformat our egos away from the importance that we give to constantly seeking, constantly chasing after something. We can always come back to it any time, spontaneously. Come back to the body just being the way that it is. Come back to the mind as awareness. Listen. Be present with. Don't try to understand. Don't try to figure out. Don't try to control. Just return. Breathing in, bringing the mind home to the body. Breathing in, aware of the whole body and mind. Breathing out, relaxing and releasing the whole body and mind. Breathing in, aware. Breathing out, relax and release. We can sit together for the final 10 minutes of this live session in our meditation position, whether that's cross-legged or laying down, no big deal. Find your meditation position. Take a deep breath. Bring the mind home to the body. And let's practice together just sitting, just breathing, and just being aware. Relax. Be open. Don't overthink. Just breathe. Okay? How was your meditation? Any questions? I think that laying down and meditating is actually very underrated. It can be a great way to meditate and a good intention to bring uh, whenever we're taking a rest, you know. No need to sit full lotus. Okay. All right. See you all again next time. Take good care.